It's a case that started when a neighbor noticed a broken window. He knew the homeowners were on vacation, so he looked inside and he saw the body of a 28-year-old man who had no connection to the home. In tonight's Unsolved, Katie Jeffries is digging deeper into this cold case from Starke and how you can help investigators.
When the Bradford County Sheriff's Department took over for the Starke Police Department, it inherited many of its open cases, and that included a murder case, something that started out by looking like a home burglary, but turned into a homicide. Just down 301 sits the town of Starke.
So trying to keep a secret in a small town is impossible.
Population just under 6,000.
So the fact that nobody has talked about this is very rare.
Also rare here, murder. Detective Corporal Michael Garmon with the Bradford County Sheriff's Office says the county usually only sees 1 to 2 homicides a year. And with the closure of the Starke Police Department, the 2020 murder of Dimitri Blunt is now his case. It was July 19th, 2020. A neighbor noticed a window broken at a home on East Washington Street and knew the homeowners were on vacation. He called police, thinking there had been a burglary. But inside, they found the body of 28-year-old Dimitri Blunt. Officers established Blunt had no connection to the homeowners or the house. So what was he doing there?
They're able to pull some surveillance footage from the residence that actually has security cameras, and they find out that it wasn't a burglary at all, that the gentleman was trying to take refuge inside the residence after he had been shot outside the residence.
He says the surveillance showed around 3:30 in the morning, a black sedan rolled up to the stop sign in front of the home.
The sedan sits there for a few minutes, and you're able to observe Mr. Dimitri walking towards the black sedan down the street right in front of the residence.
Does it look like he's walking towards the car as if he recognizes it, or is he just walking past it like he's walking somewhere else?
The video is really inconclusive on that. It doesn't look like he's shying away from the vehicle, but it also doesn't look like he's walking directly at the vehicle because he knows the vehicle.
As Dimitri gets closer, Detective Corporal Garmon says muzzle flashes of gunshots appear. Dimitri shot 3 times, fires back, then runs towards the side of the house. When we covered this story in 2020, Dimitri Blunt's girlfriend, Aisha Mitchell, told us that around 10 p.m. the day before, he had been in a fight in another part of town.
They end up fighting. We all broke it up.
Why Blunt was on East Washington Street around 5 hours later is unclear, according to Detective Corporal Garmon. But he says investigators were able to find this car about 2 days later, and evidence was recovered. But more is needed. So how can the public help you all with this case?
Just coming forward with any information that we have. This is a smaller community, and typically things like this people will talk about.
Mitchell told us in 2020 that she and Dimitri shared 3 young children, and she was devastated. They lost their father.
They got a daddy that was so good to all of us. He didn't deserve that because they didn't even know him to do that to him. And now my kids ain't gonna have no daddy.
Answers for family, and so investigators can close this case.
Closure for the community, closure for their family, and getting some bad guys off the street.
If you know anything about the murder of Dimitri Blunt, contact the Bradford County Sheriff's Office. Katie Jeffries, First Coast News, on your side.